listening to We Watch Movies.
I'm Ava.
And I'm Jenna.
And we watch movies. So this week we watched Don't Look Up, which I think is currently one of the Golden Globe nominees. I'm not sure which one as of this very moment. But it's what?
I think for best comedy.
Best comedy. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I was kind of surprised that it was like, before I watched it, I was like, why is this getting nominations and everything? It's got like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. But like, I actually enjoyed it more than I expected to. I didn't know what I was getting myself into because I had no idea what it was about. For those of you who don't know, it's basically Jennifer Lawrence discovers an asteroid that's gonna come kill them all, and Leonardo DiCaprio goes with her. They're all like, help President Meryl Streep, and then she's like, F you guys. And then the whole world explodes. And Timothée Chalamet just appears at one point, and Ariana Grande sings a song. So I had no idea what this movie was about. I did not think it was gonna go in the direction that it did. And yeah, so I'm just gonna ask Jenna, what were your initial reactions?
I think I'm in the same boat as you. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I'm not always a super big comedy fan, but I think overall I enjoyed this movie. It had its own distinct style, and it did more than I thought it would. And I enjoyed how much it went just off the rails by the end of the movie. That was fun.
I liked how it had some kind of like parallels to like the real world. Like, this would happen. Like, that was the saddest part of this whole movie, is that this would happen. Like, this is a thing that would happen in our United States of America right now.
The longer it went on, I was like, ooh, this feels a little too familiar, guys. Tone it down over there.
But no, the whole time I was like, where are the other countries? Like, why are they only dealing with America right now? If I were like Professor Mindy and Kate, I would have been like, why don't we like go to the UK or something?
Please,
like, can we go talk to Canada?
Anyone else?
See, when Meryl Streep first appeared as the president, I was like, oh yeah, President Meryl Streep, I'd vote for her. And then I was like,
oh, would you
never
now?
mind. Like, maybe I wouldn't vote for her. Actually no, I would vote for President Meryl Streep, not President Orlean or whatever she was.
Yeah.
I thought she did a good job of making people hate her.
Oh, definitely.
I thought that, I think that Leonardo DiCaprio is pretty great, just in general. I don't know, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, I'm such a Leonardo DiCaprio fan, but like, if I think about it, I never really disliked anything that he's done. I haven't seen all of his movies, of course, but like, I thought he was pretty good in this movie. I'm sitting here talking about Leonardo DiCaprio, like, yeah, he's pretty great.
Yeah.
But I really liked his character until he started cheating on his wife, and then I was like, no, you had so much potential, sir.
Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, is this cheating storyline really necessary? Because I don't think it was.
It definitely wasn't. I mean, I get that he was like naive to the glamours of public television or whatever. But he was like, he was supposed to be like, oh wow, I'm discovering this whole world of hot women for the first time. But like, I mean, come on, dude. I thought you loved your wife, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, why can't we just have a man who loves his wife? Even if they want to do the whole, like, reunion thing at the end, it could just be that he spent so long trying to get the world to listen about the threat that he never went home. So at the end, it's like, he goes home after he's tried everything. Like, I feel like if anything, that would have been more impactful, because I wouldn't have been like, yeah, dude, why'd you cheat on your wife?
Yeah, I was like, man, you were doing so well. Because, like, I thought he was... I know that there are a lot of characters in the world who have been, like, I guess, perverted by, like, fame and fortune or whatever. but I was like kind of holding out hope for him, you know what I mean? And I mean, he did come around at the end. But I was like, man, we have more pressing matters on our hands, you know?
Yeah, and I liked the angle that this movie also did of him, like, it wasn't even necessarily the fame, it was the fact that he's a scientist and now suddenly he's getting, like, the attention to, like, do something for the problem. And it's not so much fame, it's, like, I don't know, that attention and, like, ability to try and solve a problem in such, like, a big way. I prefer that over the stereotypical, like, oh, man goes out in the world, like, gets famous, and then he starts cheating on his wife and everything. Like, we've seen that before. Please, like, don't do it. Stop. Don't make me watch that.
Yeah, and I mean, also, just, like, this is kind of off topic, just a little bit, but, like, seeing, like, his character being, like, a TV scientist and everything, with all of the cameos and different people that were in this cast, they really messed up in not having Bill Nye.
I know, right? It's like, climate, like, how did you not get Bill Nye in your movie?
Maybe it was like a branding thing, and he's like only allowed to do PG stuff. But
he had a cameo in Mank, I think.
Well, then I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's just a missed opportunity. You know, they would probably have like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes if Bill Nye just walked across the screen in one frame. So like,
I know. Come on, how?
They had a lot of like. So maybe it was because it was like set in a different universe, and they had a lot of like rebranding things for like random things. Like they had like PBS was something different.
It was like CBN instead of CNN.
Yeah, she had what was on her shirt? What did it say? It was some I don't want to say that she had something on her shirt when it was just like a brand from like a different show that I watched, and I was like, oh wow. But I'm pretty sure it said like Adidas or something.
I didn't see that, but I probably.
But like just like I don't know if that was this movie, because honestly I could be like mixing random things in my brain awkwardly right now. But yeah, they had, so maybe that's why they didn't bring in Bill Nye, and like they rebranded Ariana Grande, like she's basically Ariana Grande, but like they just like replaced her name. So maybe that's why, or maybe they're just stupid. They could have called him like Nilbai or something. But anyways, let's talk about Jennifer Lawrence's character. What did you think?
I think her character was good. It bothered me how much they did the like crazy mentally ill women, which like I didn't like how much they kept stressing it. Like even though like it wasn't accurate, just I feel like they used that kind of joke too many times without doing anything else with it. Like I don't know. I overall I liked her character, but I feel like they used her as a joke too many times.
Well, I mean, I do know they were talking like the jokes were formed by the media, and
True.
so like they were emphasizing that they weren't true, that it was all like slander by people who don't want to open their minds up to science or whatever. So I didn't really mind that much, because also like if you think about it, that is something that happens a lot in like regular media. Like it's an issue. I mean, it's an issue the way that some women are mocked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that it doesn't ever happen to men either, but like I mean hysteria used to literally be like a mental illness that people treated women for.
Yes.
Like okay, wait. Doesn't that word, I'm sorry, kind of random thought that I had. Or not random thought, but like I feel like I heard somewhere once upon a time that hysteria, or the word, came from like a Greek or Latin word for uterus or something. Hang on.
I feel like I heard that too. Wait a minute.
Both aggressively Google.
Yes. Merriam-Webster. Come on, Merriam-Webster.
Yeah, Greek hystera, which means uterus. So, like, I mean, I think that they were probably just playing on that kind of thing that happens in the media and everything. Or like, oh, we'll just say that this woman is crazy and people will buy it. I thought that I thought she was gonna be more annoying, like, as an actual character than she was. So that was nice that she was like kind of normal. And
you know what I liked about this movie?
What?
The main characters were appropriately freaked out about everything that was going on. Like, they were like 2 steps away from a mental breakdown the whole movie. And you know what? Finally, we get some accurate, like, representation of what people would be like.
Exactly. I mean, like, have you ever seen those, like, TikToks where it's like, oh, this is the woman in every science fiction show, and she's like, I am a scientist, so I cannot be in love, and I must solve the equation because my father died for science. And it was a really funny TikTok. I don't remember who made it, so I did not come up with this joke, but I don't know who to credit. But yeah, there's a lot of tropiness that generally goes into, like, specifically women in sci-fi movies who are scientists. But then, I mean, also just in general, just scientist characters, like, a lot of the times they're, like, super glamorous or hot or, like not, why did I almost say spooky? Like, kind of, what's the word? Not contained. Stoic? Stoic, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's what we're going for.
Spooky and contained equals stoic.
Obviously.
But yeah, so they really didn't do that in this one. I feel like they were both pretty normal people, kind of feeling, you know, and they didn't make, well, I mean, they did play off of Leonardo DiCaprio's character being like hunky, and they called him what, the astronomer I'd like to F.
Yeah.
But I mean, he wasn't decked out to be attractive in the beginning or anything. I mean, there's always going to be the simps for Leonardo DiCaprio, and that's just something you can't avoid. But I feel like they did kind of make them look like normal people and behave kind of like normal people would. I mean, obviously there was some dramatization, but like I feel like there was a good amount of like grounding in their characters.
Yeah, like they just felt like regular people thrust into this role that no one would ever want. So, of course, they were appropriately not fully prepared for it, and they were just doing their best.
Oh my god, and then we have, on the other end of the spectrum, we have Riley Bina, Ariana Grande's character. She was like a whole whirlwind. I didn't know what was going on with her half the time. One time she was like being an a-hole to our main characters, and then the next she was all like, I sing for justice. So like, I don't know what was going on with her. It was funny in moments, but like, I don't know, I don't tend to like laugh at movies and stuff. So I wasn't particularly stirred by much of what she did on screen. But, like, she sang pretty.
If there was one thing I did not expect from this movie, was a full-length concert music video of an Ariana Grande song. Just at the end of the movie. Was not expecting that. But that's there. In case you were wondering.
I thought that it was gonna be, like, less of a joke song and be, like almost like a ploy for Best Original Song for Oscar season. Yeah. But then they started getting into like the more joking parts of the song, and I was like, never mind.
It would be hilarious if it gets nominated, though.
I was like, this could legit be a song. Like, Ariana Grande could put this out and people would listen to it. And then I was like, well,
she can do it anyway.
I mean, yeah.
like what's her fan base called? Do her fans have a name?
I don't know. It's definitely a cult, though. Like, Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure they're asking for it to be on Spotify.
Going further through the cast, Google is saying that Chris Evans was in this movie. Was he in this movie and I didn't notice? Please somebody tell me.
I don't know that.
So you did not notice him either, right?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm just making sure because
if I'm Spotify.
It is on Spotify?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Let's see, who else was in this movie? We got oh yeah, Meryl Streep. We mentioned her earlier. She was the president. She was kind of a B word. I'm sure Meryl Streep is lovely in person. I have not met Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep, if you're listening, I love and respect you as a human. But your character was kind of an a-hole.
But you played it very well.
Yes, she did. Usually when I've seen, like, and I don't want to, like, get political, but usually when I've seen, like, women presidents represented in, like, fiction and everything, because, like, obviously women presidents don't happen in, like, non-fiction, you know? They've always been, like, more moderate, I guess, and more liberal. I don't know if those two words are conflicting, but, like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, we don't normally get, like, the loudmouthy, a-hole president characters when they're being, like, female characters. Which is interesting, because I feel like that kind of reflects, like, how women are supposed to, like, not supposed to be, but how women are often portrayed in, like, stories and everything. Like, they're always, like, I guess more feminine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just, it was just a different version of, like, a woman president character, which I found kind of interesting.
Gender roles? Who needs them?
Yeah, I don't know the how valid what I just said was, because I also just said that that it's not feminine to be a loudmouth a-hole president.
The feminine urge to be a loudmouth a-hole president.
But yeah, I mean, so that was interesting. And then we had Timothy Chalamet's character. He was a greaseball, but he seemed
I think they just wanted Timothy Chalamet in this movie.
Yeah, he seemed kind of chill, like, as a person, I guess. It kind of reminded me of his character that he played that one time on SNL. Have you ever seen their that thing? It was like him and Pete Davidson.
No.
And they were like SoundCloud rappers.
No.
It's really yeah, it's really good. You should watch
it up for later.
Cate Blanchett was in this. She was the woman that Leonardo DiCaprio cheated on his wife with.
That's why she looked familiar.
You didn't see that in the massive credits at the beginning? The massive stylistic cast list that they played before the movie started?
I might have skipped it. I don't remember.
You skipped the cast list?
Yeah, what? I mean, most of the names don't mean much to me anyway until you tell me, oh, it's this person, and then you list their entire filmography. So, no.
Okay, so you're telling me that you don't just have, like, an entire, like, database of actors in your brain at all times?
I mean, I know Jennifer Lawrence was Katniss in the Blue Lady in X-Men. I know Leonardo DiCaprio. What?
Sorry, I just discovered that Michael Chiklis was in it. Who's Dan Paquetti? Who was that?
I don't know.
That's weird, because apparently he was in this movie. Sorry, that I kind of interrupted your thought or whatever, but Michael Chiklis, he was in Gotham and American Horror Story.
Wait, who was he in Gotham?
He was that police guy who was bald and he became the executioner judge guy thing.
Oh, him.
Yeah. I don't remember his name. But he was in this, apparently. I did not notice him in this. Is
He
that
wasn't
bad?
the pilot guy. They don't have similar enough faces.
Wait. No, it wasn't. Because that was like... His name had like an SK in it. Yeah, Drask. That was Ron Perlman. And he was... What was he in? Because I recognize him too. Or I think I do. I actually don't know if I recognize him. He was in Tangled, but it... Oh, he was in The Hobbit. He was in... Well, he was in a lot of things. I just don't recognize a lot of them. Let me see if he was in Supernatural. Because he might have been.
Oh my gosh.
Well, okay.
The
Here's
Dan
the thing.
Paquetti guy, the guy who was in Gotham, was also in Hubie Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this guy was not in Supernatural. I don't...
Oh, he was the fake Fox News host guy.
He was?
Yes!
Oh, okay.
That's who
That
Dan
makes sense.
Paquetti is.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, I see.
Wait, there's two people listed as Dan Paquetti. Maybe
Oh,
that's
because
why we
weren't there like two of those news station guys? But only like the Michael Chiklis guy, he showed up more. So they might both be credited with it.
they're both the same guy.
Who knows?
That's cool. I don't know, but anyways, I thought it was interesting, I guess. You know, and I didn't notice that guy in it, but this cast, as you can see, there's a very large cast for this movie. A lot of people who are recognizable faces in the industry. Some more so than others. I mean, you got like a guy who was on Gotham, and then you have Leonardo freaking DiCaprio. So like, there's definitely a big gap there. And I don't see. Okay, like I said earlier, movies don't generally like make me laugh. You know, I'm not like a huge like. I can appreciate comedy, but I'm not like a comedy fan, I guess. But I can recognize that this movie was definitely funnier than like Hubie Halloween or anything. So, I mean, there's that.
I think that sounds more like a roast than you intended.
Wait.
I mean,
what do you
it's
mean?
funnier than Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, no, that's not a big stretch. I mean, I'm funnier than Hubie Halloween.
I mean, yeah, me too.
But yeah, so there's like, I mean, there was a lot of like, I guess like, it was a lot of self-awareness kind of humor. It was all poking fun at like America and everything, and I mean that's like half of Gen Z humor, anyways. So like, I did appreciate that. I did appreciate the like self-criticism there, because I mean, self-deprecation is a great way to make other people laugh. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I probably rely on it too much, but let's not get into that right now.
Episode 53, Jenna's therapy session. So Jenna, tell me. Yeah, no, but yeah, so this was, I think the cast was pretty chill. I saw somewhere somebody said something about like wanting or recognizing that this was a strong casting movie, but not like really that award worthy in other realms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like put it as like an award worthy movie, but like I thought it was pretty decently enjoyable. Interesting concept, and yeah, I wouldn't necessarily like be like, and the Oscar for Best Picture goes to, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it deserves better than a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I also don't necessarily see it as a strong awards contender for like Best Picture or anything like that.
I would give it like a solid 73.
Yeah.
73.
Yeah.
There was, okay, so kind of segueing, every time that like a movie or a show or something has a phone number in it, like a full phone number, I Google it. I don't actually before I actually call it, because I wouldn't want to like call something funky. And so this movie, the hotline number that they put on the screen is some actual phone number.
Oh my god.
But not one that they own. It's like some medical hotline or something. And apparently somebody called it and they were like, yeah, this is the 5th person who's called today. And like, I don't know if the producers just didn't check that was a number that already existed or something. But like, imagine you just like start getting phone calls from like a bunch of random people and they're like, your phone number was in this movie.
Well, imagine people are calling like, yeah, I want more information about how to deal with the comet that's about to kill Earth.
But like, you could actually mess up somebody's day-to-day life like really bad with this. Like, all of the Leonardo DiCaprio fan base, all of the Jennifer Lawrence fan base, all of these people, right? They're watching this movie. And then they see this phone number and they're like, ha ha ha, it's probably something funny, because like movies do that a lot. They'll put a phone number, it'll be like a real thing. And so you call it, and then it's like, listen, we are not affiliated with that movie. Please don't call us again. I bet you they had to change their phone number.
Probably.
I don't know. I really like it when movies and stuff, they like make a phone number that has like a little Easter egg on it or something.
Yeah.
But like, you gotta make sure it's not somebody's phone number.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an oversight.
But anyways, Jenna,
Ava,
did you take any particular note about the soundtrack?
not really. I mean, it did use a lot of outside songs, which was fine. And I mean, nothing stood out to me bad, but nothing stood out to me as great either. I mean, I liked some of the different piano moments, but it's not really something I would like go on to Spotify and be like, oh yeah, let me listen to this for a week and only this. Like, I didn't. It was perfectly serviceable for the movie, but I didn't think it was anything spectacular.
Mm. Just like Chris Evans' performance in this movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I could not tell, except for the Just Look Up song, I could not tell you any of the music that was in this movie. I did not notice at all.
Yeah. Well, which I mean is fine, because we didn't notice it sticking out like a sore thumb and we just wanted to mute or whatever we were watching it on, but didn't do anything for me.
I will admit though, I was kind of disappointed with how it ended. Like, I mean, okay, it's a very lighthearted, funny movie, right? It had like dark moments, but like it was kind of a dark comedy-ish type thing. But then like the ending was like real. Man, I was like, I did not come here to watch the world explode. I came here to watch, like, I don't know, President Orlean get assassinated and then the people take over NASA or something. I don't know. Like, I mean, I understand that the ending made sense for the story, and I can appreciate that. But I gotta say, I was kind of hoping for a win here. You know what I mean?
I wasn't. I'm really glad everybody died.
Whoa! President Orlean survived.
No, she didn't. She died later.
She got on the spaceship.
But then she got eaten by that alien.
Oh yeah.
She died.
Oh! I get it now. Oh! But like, okay.
Wait, did you see the like other end credit scene?
Wait. Okay, that's probably where my confusion comes from, because I did not watch the end credit scenes. I didn't know that there was end credit scenes.
Wait, so did you see the one where the ship makes it to the planet?
No, I thought you were just talking about when he told her that she was going to be eaten by this random thing, and then he was like, "We don't know what it means yet."
No, there is a scene at the end of the movie where the space pods make it to another planet, and then she walks up to this alien creature, and then it bites her face off.
Okay, hang on. I need you to entertain the podcast. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, so you have to watch that one, but then there's another one at like the very, very end of the credits as well.
Okay, hang on. Talk about something.
Oh, no teacher, you guys. Just on my own right now. Where's the teacher? Okay, moving on from that. That wasn't very funny. Well, I hope you've all had a good week so far. Oh, I realized, because we're not recording this on the day it's coming out, but this will be the last podcast episode of 2021. Isn't that crazy? Guys, like, come on. The year is over. You will be listening to this, and then the very next day will be 2022, and then we'll be making more videos in that year. That was just interesting and terrifying to think about. I hope 2022 is better than this year, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Cautiously optimistic, but, you know, where did that get us with this year? But yeah, it's been a good year, and you know, this movie, it's called Don't Look Up, but at the end, it tells you to please just look up, so you know, I'm trying to look up and be optimistic for the next year. I'm sure Ava has probably finished watching. No, it's kind of long. Yeah, she still has a little bit more time over there. Really didn't prepare anything for my big solo. Don't really like soloing that much. I still have a gourd on my
Jenna,
desk.
there are butts.
yes, there are. So many butts.
I need to go back to watching. Hang on.
Yes. So as I was saying before Ava interrupted me, there is a gourd sitting on my desk. And I've been waiting for it to get soft before I throw it out, but I don't know, I should probably get rid of it. But I really like it because it looks like a little bird, and it has like these little stubby wings, and it looks like it's about to hug you, but I've seen better days. So I think my gourd is gonna have to retire to the woods, unfortunately. Pour one out for my gourd. Yeah, what else can I talk about? Because I don't really want to talk about anything in this movie while Eva is away. But I don't know, I enjoyed this movie. I feel like a lot of the opinions I've heard have been similar, where I don't really know what I watched, but I think I liked it. And that's kind of how I feel about this movie. I wasn't expecting to really enjoy it, and so I enjoyed it more than I expected to, but at the same time, I tend to not gravitate, goodness gracious, towards comedies. If anything, I prefer to deal with things in a more serious manner. I just prefer dramedies. Well, not dramedies. Dramas over comedies. But that's just my vehicle of entertainment, I suppose. And I think this movie was decently funny. It had some... Again, its style worked really well for it. There were definitely some moments that made it funnier because it cut so quickly, or it kept cutting back to something. And I really like that comedy in movies, because sometimes just scripts can fall flat and you can't always rely on it. But I guess it's not really so much physical humor, but editing humor, I suppose. That is always a pretty safe bet, at least in my humor books. So the utilization of that, I think, was really well done in this movie. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it to have such a distinct style, so that was a plus. Ava, are you back yet?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Please talk.
I wanted you to finish your thought. So that guy lived, of all of the characters to survive that?
Yes. That bothered me. I wish they hadn't done that.
Yeah, so I see. Okay, see, I thought that you were just saying that she got eaten by that alien because that's what he said was going to happen earlier in the movie.
Mm-mm. She
Oh,
actually got eaten.
I was like, wow, that was really insightful of you, Jenna. I mean, like, I did not pick up on that.
No. You see, you were mad at me because I didn't watch the cast credits at the beginning of the movie. Meanwhile, you didn't even watch the scenes at the end of the movie.
I didn't know that there were scenes.
God, Ava, what has Marvel taught you?
Okay, now I just need to assume they're in every movie.
Well, all you gotta do is drag your cursor across the timeline bar when you get to the end of the movie. I was watching
on a television, Jenna. I can't do that.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
See, the same thing happened with the Suicide Squad. I didn't watch that last end credit scene where Peacemaker survived or whatever. But I didn't. This is the first time that I've ever actually like went and finished watching the movie in the middle of the podcast recording. So that's a new one.
I can't believe you left me unsupervised. That's such a horrible decision.
Oh yeah, you absolutely. See, here's the thing, Jenna. I was listening to you the whole time.
Why?
Because I had my earbud in.
Well, I guess you would have had to hear my soothing voice and just positively entertaining commentary when you were editing it anyway.
You were like, ooh, teacher's gone. Teacher's gone.
Listen, I'm totally mature.
Honestly, if we had to pick one who is more mature, it's probably you. Like, let's be honest here.
I don't know.
Jenna, you have your life together way more than I do. Let's be
real.
Are
we sure about that?
Yes, I am sure about that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, anyways, I'm glad that she died, but, like, I don't know. Why weren't they, like, why didn't they have clothes? What, was there no room on the ship for their clothes? I mean, I understand if they had to freeze
their bodies.
What?
I guess they just decayed right off of their bodies.
Well, like, I understand if they had to freeze them, like, naked, but, like, they could have put them in clothes. I'm sorry. I feel like the rich people would have been like, we need clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really wish they had clothes.
Like, that was a bit too much. Just a little bit. Like, I mean, I understand when some shows use, like, nudity or whatever, but just sticking in a profound amount of, like, butts into an end credit scene, I feel like there's really no point. You know, and I know that it was, like, already rated R, but, like, I feel like it's just a little bit much.
Yeah, I don't know. Just stop with unnecessary graphic nudity. Like, I don't know what that's doing for people, but it's not funny if that's why you're doing it.
Yeah, like, I definitely don't mind it sometimes. Like, I feel like some scenarios call for it, and I mean, it's just like, it's like the human body. It's fine. I don't really care that much. But, like, this, I just don't think called for it. And they were probably trying to be funny or something. But, like, also it resulted in some, like, awkward shooting of, like, Meryl Streep, because I don't think that she, like, wanted to show anything. So they, like, had to, like, cover her with, like, convenient leaves and stuff. And it was, like, kind of awkward for the framing of the shot. And I was like, look, you just give them, like, some weird space robes or something. I don't know. Like, they would bring, like, scrubs or something. Well, I mean, not scrubs, but, like, scrub-looking things. Some sort of, like, gray clothes or whatever. I don't know. Like, they would have something.
Yeah, like, it's not that hard. Did you run out of money in your costume budget so everyone showed up and you were like, well, here's what we gotta do, guys. Like, just have people wear their normal clothes.
Yeah, and I mean, even then, if they showed up to the ship, they would have been wearing clothes when they showed up. So, like, I don't know why their clothes aren't still on the ship.
Yeah.
And I've seen plenty of, like, sci-fi things cryo-freeze people in their clothes. So, it's not that big of a stretch. And, I mean, I know that I'm kind of dwelling on this a little bit, but it was kind of, kind of put, like, a bad taste in my mouth. A little bit. Smidge.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to make a joke, but I need to figure out what I'm actually making a joke on. Hold on. Please hold.
Guys, Jenna's trying to do comedy.
I'm trying.
Don't strain yourself.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I got this.
We're ready.
Nope, that's not it. I'm sorry, but did the girl in Oxygen not have clothes on? No, she had clothes, and she was cryogenically frozen for years. So my point is, why'd you do it? Movie, huh? Why'd you do it?
It's just weird. I mean, like, I get it for, like, things like I've seen, like, they've had to do, like, nudity in, like, Game of Thrones, right? Or, like, I've seen it in, like, Penny Dreadful and things, like, when they're talking, or when they have, like, characters who, like, would, like, in scenarios where they would be naked, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, it makes sense for the story here. But I'm like, this was just unnecessary. This was just, like... It was, I don't know, it was just too much. Too many people, too many private areas showing. I was not a huge fan of that aspect.
Me neither.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't gain anything from watching those 2 end credit scenes, to be honest.
No, they were kind of pointless. I preferred just the ending of the house exploding, and that's it.
Yeah, I low-key think I liked the movie more before I saw the end.
Yes, I couldn't unsee them, and now I'm just mad that the Jonah Hill guy, I think that was Jonah Hill. I'm mad that he was the only one who survived, and I didn't care about the rich people.
I feel like Yule should have been the one to survive.
That would have been hilarious.
He would have been like, thank you, Lord. But also, let's be honest, I feel like Jason probably had the worst death of all of them then. Just based on the fact that he was the only man on Earth in a world where there was no food or water.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably just suffered for 3 days and then died.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I definitely liked the movie better without the end credit scenes. Like, that was just a little... Because it was just like a cheap joke plus a bunch of butts, and then the next one was just like a cheap joke. I was like, it's not... Like, that wasn't the humor in this movie that was successful. Like, their cheap jokes weren't the successful ones. Like, the successful ones...
It doesn't make sense to leave your audience with the least successful part of your movie.
Yeah, like, the successful humor in this movie was the one that was, like, based in reality and, like, poking fun at the real world, etc. Like, that was their successful form of humor in this movie. And then they're like, oh, we got some butts and aliens, and she's gonna get eaten in the face by Kevin from Up. I'm like, okay. It's not your best. Not your best movie. I'm sorry. Mr. McKay, is it? Not your best.
Yeah. I think you could have cut that out. I think the movie could have cut it out.
Yeah. What did you think of, I don't know what I'm about to ask you. I was gonna say something and then I completely lost my train of thought. That's really awkward. I'm sorry.
Now, it's funny, every time I go to look something up, and I switch through my tabs, it just brings me up to YouTube, and there's just a thumbnail of Timothée Chalamet and Pete Davidson in really colorful wigs, staring at the camera. Every time.
Is it the SNL skit?
Yep. You're gonna watch it as
Why
soon as
don't
this
you
episode
mute
is
yourself, and I'll entertain the podcast,
Oh, okay.
and you can go watch.
Okay. BRB.
Okay, so now that Jenna's not here, let me tell you all the things I don't like about her.
Okay, now hold on a minute now.
Okay, so I don't know. I thought this movie was definitely more enjoyable than I expected, which I've said already. But I definitely don't see it as like best picture worthy or anything, because like I've seen other movies in this Oscar season that I think have been more successful, but this definitely, I would understand if this won like best comedy or something, because I do think it's like one of the more successful comedies that I've seen, at least in recent times. Obviously there are some gems out there that are just like really good, but also, like I said, I don't tend to laugh at movies. I like enjoy some comedy that's like planned out and everything, but I don't know. I guess my humor comes from like circumstance, like random little like things that happen in the day to day or like in conversations or whatever that's funny, instead of like actually like thought out jokes or whatever. Like I can watch, like I've watched several like stand up comics and everything, and I've really enjoyed what they do, but I'm not sitting there like ah ha 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 ha, you know. So yeah, I mean, I thought that it was enjoyable. I don't think that the comedy took away from anything, because that, like, if you watch something like Hubie Halloween, I know we keep going back to that, but like that, or like like Thunder Force too, like these other bad comedies that we've gone over in this podcast before. It's like the jokes that they do, they really reach for them, and they take away from the actual storyline. And like it's like like I can appreciate a comedy when the jokes don't take away from a character or from the actual plot and the events that are trying to go on, and you're trying to like build an arc, right? But you don't want to distract your audience. And some of the jokes that like you get from like Adam Sandler or like Melissa McCarthy movies and stuff like that, like they can be really like distracting. Like that happens a lot with also like kids humor and everything. Like I feel like sometimes comedy becomes like I've seen comedies that are just like, they're just kid jokes but like with swear words. It's like, oh, bodily fluids, hilarious. Oh, falling off of things, that is comedy gold. Like it's all like jokes that you would see in like a Disney Channel show or movie, but you know, they're just like adultified, and so they just take something that's like G-rated from Disney Channel, right, and they just like turn it up to R-rated by making it about sex or about or like use swear words to describe it, or just make everybody naked like they did in this movie at the end. And I feel like that just kind of ruins it. It ruins like it doesn't, it's not a joke that you really want to tell, you know? And like when you have actual jokes that come with like wit and like are based in reality, something that's like a circumstance that would be funny in the real world, that's the kind of stuff that I like enjoy. So like that's when I do see like a comic or like a character or somebody in like a movie who's like witty or something, that's when I actually like enjoy the jokes. So when it does come to this movie, like a good, like I would say like 60% of the jokes were wit based, or like reality based, which I kind of enjoyed. And then obviously you have things like the end credit scene that were not too great and I was not too fond of. So Jenna, have you arrived?
It's the yeet. Oh my god. All I got from that.
Never loved me, Ma. I don't watch SNL often, but I do appreciate that particular skit. Because also, like I said, it's making fun of reality. I was just, Jenna, if you were listening, I don't know if you were.
I couldn't really understand both at the same time, so I focused on.
I was going in. I was discussing, my take on comedy and why I'm not very amused by some comedy and why I like some other comedy, but I don't really like burst out laughing. And I was talking about how like my particular, like I appreciate comedy that's like witty and like based in reality or whatever. So like that comedy, I mean, like that skit that you watched, because they're making fun of like SoundCloud rappers that actually exist that we all make fun of anyways. But I don't know. I don't like when they take like kids jokes and just adultify them, you know?
Yeah, like one, like in terms of a movie, like one or two throughout the whole movie, it's fine. It's a type of comedy. You're gonna use it if you can apply it, sure. But don't overload your movie with that because no one wants that. It's really not as funny as you think it is.
Yeah, if you're like relying on like bodily fluids or like I don't know, like
Bodily functions.
yeah, stuff like that. I don't know, appearance jokes a lot too. That are just like, it's funny because he's fat or something like that. Like that's not. There's no wit. There's no thought put into those jokes that makes them not funny. It's like if you could think of it when you were 7 years old, then it's not really worth thinking of when you're like 40, you know?
Yeah, don't do it.
I need to watch that SNL skit again though. I do enjoy that one a lot.
Like you can tell that they're just trying to be obnoxious as possible by making zero sense. But they have to keep such a straight face the whole time. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know how some people like keep a straight face during certain scenes. Like especially like also with like actors and everything. What did I just watch? Oh yeah, I just watched Elf with my family and there's like scenes when it's like how does the guy who plays Buddy's dad, Walter Hobbs, how does he keep a straight face so well when he's like dealing with Will Ferrell pretending to be a child like elf the whole time? Or like the scene have you seen Elf?
I've seen parts of it.
So you haven't seen all of Elf?
No, but I think I've seen a good amount of it at this point.
Jenna!
Stop!
What are you doing?
Clearly not living my life, Ava.
Jenna, how have you... What, you're 17, right?
God, way to just tell everyone my age, Ava.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, you've had 17 Christmases to watch Elf.
Well, I'm not gonna watch it when I'm an infant.
Okay, so you've had, like, 14 Christmases to watch Elf.
Yeah, and I've seen bits and pieces of it over those 14 Christmases. Your point?
You haven't seen all of it. And that's a failure on your part.
I mean, I don't gravitate towards comedies. So I've watched other things, but just not so much comedies.
Jenna, I have one word for you. It starts with an H.
Don't say it. I will leave. Can I mute you? I think I'm gonna mute you.
Homework.
Well, guys, this episode has been fun, but I think I gotta leave. My computer, it shuts itself off at 9 o'clock, so I gotta go.
Yeah, we don't normally record this late. So this is fun. It's almost 9 o'clock right now.
Yeah, I just had to go into my settings and change it to like midnight just so it wouldn't time me out.
Ow, my arm hurts. I got my booster. #boosted. And yeah, so I'm gonna go to sleep. But this was fun. That's all we have for this week's episode. We're gonna see you all next week. We post new episodes every Friday. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. We love all that stuff. You can follow us on any of the platforms in the description below. If you are on something else like Spotify or whatever, hello, you can probably follow us wherever you are there. It really does help. We appreciate everything that you guys do. It makes us feel good. So I don't know if you want to like boost our happy meters, like fill our buckets, if you know what I mean. But yeah, you can do that by like commenting, sharing, following, whatever you want to do. If not, if you don't like us, then we can go our separate ways. It's fine. But I don't know how you've gotten this far if you didn't like us. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. But yeah, this was Don't Look Up. We'll see you next week. Jenna, anything to add?
Remember, everyone, like this movie says, just look up. But also, in this case, don't watch the end credit scenes.
Okay, bye!